This is Unit 7 of Governmental Accounting and Auditing, Accounting for Business Type Activities. Up to this point, we have been looking almost entirely at the governmental activities, which are the same activities of a government that are reported in the governmental funds and in the internal service funds, which are a type of proprietary fund. What we're going to look at specifically this week are the things that are reported predominantly as business type activities in the government-wide financial statements and in the enterprise funds, which is the other type of proprietary fund. We'll look at both enterprise and internal service because they're both operated in a business-like manner, by which I mean charging a fee for the services and goods that they provide, not to generate a profit. That's generally what is meant like business-like or business type. Proprietary funds, so there are these two types, enterprise funds, internal service funds. Internal service funds are providing services to the government itself, like a central purchasing activity or a central car pool. Whereas the enterprise funds are accounting for activities in which the government is providing services to individuals, like a water and sewer system, or an electric utility, or a municipal airport. Obviously not just to individuals, but to businesses as well, basically to entities other than itself. There are three financial statements for business type activities, both for the proprietary funds when it's reporting by a city or state or county or another type of general purpose government, and by freestanding business type entities like a utility or a college or university or a public hospital. The first of these is a statement of net position. Unlike the government-wide financial statements, the government-wide statement of net position, where governments have the option of using the classified format, it's required for the proprietary fund statement of net position. The statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in fund net position. The key thing to pay attention to here is the separation of operating revenues and expenses from other types of revenues and expenses. And then the third financial statement is a statement of cash flows. You need to learn the four types of cash flows, which are different, although they have similar names, different from the three types of cash flows that are reported by companies and by not-for-profit organizations under FASB standards. I mentioned internal service funds. You'll need to understand what they are, what types of services they provide, and look at the types of journal entries that are common for internal service funds. You'll need to understand those. They may be in the homework assignment. They're very certainly going to be covered in the final exam. Enterprise funds, this is where we're accounting for the services provided to others, can be used for any activity for which a fee is charged. However, they're required to be used to report activities that meet any of the three criteria that are listed here, and you need to become familiar with those. You need to learn the journal entries that are specific to enterprise funds. I think you will find many of them familiar because rather than talking about non-exchange transactions as we have up to this point, like taxes and intergovernmental grants, with enterprise funds we're talking predominantly about exchange transactions like you would see with any business. So I think you will find them similar to what you've seen before. And then one last thing I'll mention is that there is an appendix on regulatory accounting which you may find interesting. However, it's not required. It will not be covered on the final exam.